Hey, tonight I want to talk to the woman who says she's fine, but hasn't truly rested in a very long time. Not sleep, rest. The kind of rest that lets your body unclench. The kind of rest that lets your mind slow down. The kind of rest that lets your heart breathe. This is a story about burnout. But more than that, it's a story about how we learn to ignore ourselves. And this story is mine. If you've been pushing through life quietly, this episode is for you. Let's slow down for a moment. For most of my life, I didn't really know how tired I was. I knew how to keep going. I knew how to handle pressure. I knew how to manage chaos. I knew how to show up even when I felt empty. But tired, I didn't use that word because tired meant weak. Tired meant ungrateful. Tired meant I wasn't strong enough. So instead, I called it discipline. I called it hustle. I called it responsibility. I called it motherhood. I called it entrepreneurship. But what it really was a nervous system that never learned how to feel safe. I learned how to stay alert, not how to slow down. Mark chapter 6, verse 31 says, "Come with me by yourselves to a quiet place and get some rest." Jesus did not say, "Work harder." He said, "Come away." Let me ask you something gently. When was the last time you rested without feeling guilty? When was the last time you stopped without explaining yourself? Do you feel uncomfortable doing nothing? Do you feel like you have to earn peace? Because burnout doesn't always come from doing too much. Sometimes it comes from never feeling safe enough to stop. There were days when I would finish a full day of braiding, my hands aching, my back tight, my feet swollen, and still tell myself, just one more thing, one more client, one more post, one more idea, one more task. Then I started building my tax business, learning systems, learning software, creating structure, trying to show up consistently online. And I noticed something. My body was constantly tense, even when I wasn't doing anything. Even when I was sitting still. My shoulders were tight, my jaw was clenched, my breathing was shallow, and God gently showed me something. You can't build a peaceful life with a constantly stressed body. Rest is not something you squeeze in. It is something you protect. Psalm 127, verse 2 says, "In vain you rise early and stay up late, toiling for food to eat, for he grants sleep to those he loves." God does not reward exhaustion. He restores the exhausted. Here's what God started teaching me about rest. Rest is not laziness. It is obedience. Because rest says, I trust God enough to stop working. I trust God enough to pause. I trust God enough to breathe. For women like us, we learn to survive. Rest feels dangerous because rest removes control, and survival taught us control equals safety, but healing teaches something different. Safety comes from God, not from overworking, not from overplanning, not from overdoing, not from overfunctioning. Your body was never designed to carry constant pressure. It was designed to experience rhythm, work, pause, create, restore, give, receive. And when you ignore that rhythm, your body will eventually demand what your mind keeps denying. Exodus chapter 33, verse 14 says, "My presence will go with you, and I will give you rest." Rest is not only physical, it is spiritual safety. I'm 44 now, and I'm learning how to listen to my body. Not only my schedule, not only my goals, not only my responsibilities, but my breath, my tension, my emotions, my limits. I'm learning how to stop before I collapse. And that is new for me, but it is healing. Affirm this with me. I release the need to earn rest. I allow my body to relax. I listen to my limits with compassion. I choose rhythm over burnout. I trust God with my pauses. I trust God with my peace. I am safe to slow down. I am safe to rest. God restores my strength. God restores my peace. If this episode spoke to your heart, put amen in the comments. Not because you are tired, but because you are ready to rest differently. Stay fancy, stay focused, and keep your eyes on God. In a minute.